Welcome to Come Get Woo Woo. We're your hosts, Becky and Ro, here to hold space for the unseen, the unspoken, and the deeply felt. This is a place for seekers, for those who sense that there's more, for those who hear between the words, feel beyond the room, and know without knowing why.
Together, we'll explore the language of spirit, the clarity of your clairs, and the signs that rise up when you're ready to notice. You're not imagining it, you're remembering it. This is Come Get Woo Woo.
Have you ever made a decision just because it felt right? And it was? Or ignored that little voice in your head and regretted it instantly? What if the best advice you've ever gotten isn't from self-help books, a guru, or even a mentor, but the quiet voice inside your own mind, that voice that seemed to know the way even when logic and reason couldn't explain it? Welcome to the power of intuition. Hey, woo-woo seekers, welcome back to Come Get Woo-Woo with Becky and Ro. I'm Becky.
And I'm Ro. Today we're diving deep into intuition, your innate ability to sense, perceive, and understand beyond the ordinary. We'll explore how intuition connects to your chakras, how it shows up in everyday life, and how it works hand in hand with the other clairs. We'll also share simple ways to strengthen your intuitive abilities and offer insights that go beyond what's in our journals or meditations. Think of this as a chance to expand your understanding, recognize the ways intuition might already be guiding you, and learn to trust the inner wisdom even more. So, Becky, what is intuition?
Well, intuition is your inner guidance system, a subtle knowing that comes from beyond logic or reason. It's the ability to sense, understand, or perceive something without needing evidence, explanation, or conscious thought. Think of it as the whisper of a spirit, that gut feeling, or the quiet nudge that guides your choices. It's deeply personal and often instantaneous. Everyone has intuition. It's not a gift for the few. We all have it, and it's a skill we can develop more thoroughly. It's like your Wi-Fi connection to the universe. You can't see it, but when you're tuned in, the downloads flow. It's kind of really cool that this is a full circle moment for us, don't you think, Ro?
Yeah.
We started our first class together and met in an intuition class. So it makes having intuition as our subject today definitely perfectly meant to be, I think.
Oh, I think so too.
Do you have any examples of how our listeners can recognize signs of intuition in everyday life?
Oh, of course I do. So, signs that you have a strong intuition, you often just know the answer before checking facts. You notice patterns or connections that others miss. You get sudden insights during mundane activities like showering, walking, or driving. You experience gut feelings or bodily cues that guide your decisions. Dreams or spontaneous thoughts sometimes give you accurate guidance. You feel a sense of calm or certainty when making the right choice, even if it doesn't make sense logically. You can sense other people's emotions, intentions, or needs without them saying a word. So, Becky, how does intuition show up?
Well, intuition is a common denominator. We all have this, and it's the most primal form of knowing. One of the ways that it shows up, it's a non-specific emotional or physical sensation. So say you're driving and you have this sudden unexpected knot in your stomach. It's prompting you to switch lanes for some reason or another. You don't know why, but you just feel, okay, I'm going to do it. So you move. You move, and 5 seconds later, a truck runs a red light in the lane that you were just in. So that knot in the stomach, that's your intuition. It's the energy of caution, but it has no specific picture or voice or attachment to it. When I actually first started this journey, I don't know about you, Ro, but it took me a long time until we actually prepared everything for this episode. I still was very confused on what's the difference. What is intuition? What is claircognizance? Basically, any of the clairs. What was it different? So I always thought they were the same. If you're okay with that, I'm going to go over one of the most commonly perceived. It's intuition versus claircognizance.
Of course.
Okay. So the way you receive information, its intuition is going to be a yes and no energy, plain and simple. Where claircognizance is going to be a very direct download, complex, very layered. The source for intuition is going to be either your higher self or your inner truth. Basically it's yourself, where claircognizance can be from your soul. It can be from spirit. It can be energy fields. Sometimes you're channeling. One of the areas that it originates from, intuition, is going to be more of that. You're going to feel it in your gut or your heart, where claircognizance, you're going to feel through your crown or the top of your head. The tones can be different too. So intuition's just going to be a gentle pull or maybe a nudge, where claircognizance is going to be a strong certainty without knowing why. Intuition can feel foggy and hard to explain, where oftentimes with claircognizance, you're going to have complete ideas or inner instructions. So it's a little bit more detailed. Intuition is going to be very subtle, abstract, and instructional, where claircognizance is going to be more refined and descriptive. So you're going to get a feeling, seeing, hearing, knowing, that sort of thing. So to give you a nice example is turning and getting into the other lane is going to be intuition, because you just do it, where it's almost like instinct. And then your claircognizance is, we need to go in the other lane because I need to turn here or for some reason. That is closely related, but I think there's also one, clairsentient gets really confused with intuition too. Do you want to go over that a little bit?
Sure. Intuition and clairsentience are so tightly intertwined that most people first experience of intuition is actually clairsentience. So here's why. Clairsentience works through the body. It translates energetic or psychic information into physical and emotional sensations. The gut feeling, the shiver, the warmth, the sudden tension that says something's off. Since the body reacts faster than the mind, clairsentience tends to register first. That's why intuitive hits often feel like instinct. So you could think of it like this. Intuition is the overall ability to sense, perceive, and understand something beyond logic. It's the umbrella. You can just know something, but how you experience that knowing depends on your strongest clair. So clairsentience is how your body communicates that awareness. Clairaudience is when intuition speaks in sounds or words. You receive guidance through hearing internally or externally, like phrases, song, lyrics, tones, or even silence that feels charged with meaning. Clairvoyance is when intuition shows up as an image, symbol, or mental movie. You see the message rather than hear or feel it. Clairsentience is when intuition feels like an emotion, a bodily reaction, or energy wave. And claircognizance is when intuition drops in as a pure knowing. No voice, no image, just an instant understanding. So clairsentience is often the bridge between raw intuitive knowing and the rest of the clairs. It's like intuition's translator, turning subtle energy into something that you can feel. So in short, intuition is the raw connection. The clairs are the tuned instruments that give it voice, image, and form. Psychic development is simply learning to play those instruments with intention instead of guessing what the music means. Intuition often shows up quietly and subtly, not as dramatic as you might expect. The more you notice and trust these small signals, the stronger your intuitive connection becomes.
Oh, it just came to me, it dawned on me when you were going through this, that is the easiest way to for me to understand. So I was watching my niece, she's in the marching band, and she plays one instrument. So the whole marching band is intuition, but her one instrument is a clair.
Right.
When you describe that's easier to way to, I mean, like, I don't know.
No, you're right. So the band is the intuition, and the clairs are all the tuned instruments that are playing.
Yeah.
And music that it makes
is the message.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right.
So, Becky, how does the chakras show up for intuition?
So intuition doesn't come from one single place in the body. It flows through your whole entire energy system. While this guidance is holistic, a few chakras act as key receivers and translators. When these centers are balanced, intuitive messages feel clear and grounded instead of vague and overwhelming. So the main receivers, head centers. So your primary receiving station is going to be your third eye. This is the intuitive center governing insight, inner vision, energetic perception. When the third eye is open, you naturally trust your inner nudges and literally see connections and patterns that others miss. Supporting the third eye is the crown chakra. You're linked to the higher wisdom and universal guidance. Balance here means you are open to receiving spiritual downloads without losing your grounded footing or becoming too overwhelmed. So the translator for intuition to be useful, it must be filtered and expressed. The heart chakra acts as a filter, ensuring that the intuitive guidance you receive is loving and compassionate instead of fear-based or judgmental. It keeps your insights aligned with your highest good. The throat chakra then acts as your voice, allowing you to trust what you receive and clearly express or act upon the inner knowing.
So beyond the main 7, a few lesser known chakras fine-tune how intuitive messages move through you. We have the soul star chakra, located just above the crown, is where your higher guidance and soul level wisdom originate. It's where intuitive downloads begin. The Alta Major at the back of the head helps those complex insights flow efficiently into your physical nervous system. The palate chakra bridges the higher channels to the expression centers, ensuring the messages can be consciously understood. Finally, your palm chakras are crucial as they translate your intuitive knowing into doing. This is how your inner wisdom guides your hands in energy work, writing, creating, or simply extending compassion. These minor chakras work best in concert with the major chakras. For intuition, the soul star, the palate, and the Alta Major help bring guidance into awareness, while the palms allow it to flow into action. A simple daily routine of visualization, breath, and gentle sound can keep them active and clear. Your body is always scanning your environment and your experiences, even if your mind hasn't caught up. Intuition is the what, the guidance itself, and the clairs are how the sensory language spirit uses to deliver that guidance. To deepen intuition, you don't need fancy tools, just more stillness and trust. Becky, do you want to go over some ways to strengthen your intuition?
Absolutely. Regular meditation helps quiet the mind and allow intuitive insights to surface. Or mindfulness is a daily activity. So like walking, eating, washing dishes, all of those strengthen noticing subtle cues. Sometimes for a lot of people, like their meditation is while gardening. So they'll get intuitive hits or, stuff like that during meditation. So you kind of strengthening that. Journaling. So anytime that you're journaling or reflecting, so recording spontaneous thoughts, gut feelings, or aha moments, reflecting on decisions or outcomes to see how your intuition guided you. Now, I've done this a few times. I don't know if you have, but where I've written something down. And what's the cool part is you can actually go back and look at it. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's right. I did say that, or I did do that. You can actually physically see that the outcome matched what you thought it was going to be. Prompts you to have a little bit more trust in yourself. And that's a big thing.
Does this mean another journal for you?
It probably does. Of course, I've got like a bunch of different journals. I just started a new journal for tarot reads, writing down my tarot for the week, which has been fun. So yeah, I want another journal.
Oh, is this for yourself or?
That is for myself, yes. Every Monday morning, I pull cards and I have a list of questions that I actually ask myself. And then I journal it. And, then you revisit the next week to see how the outcome of the tarot read for yourself matched what you predicted the week. So, you actually get to see the results. And that's the reflection part.
Very cool.
Now, this one I keep repeating over and over and over and over again. Pay attention to your body. Notice the physical signals, the gut feeling, the tingling, the tension, the warmth, whatever it is. I mean, we have a running joke on our Monday nights. Everybody's starting to get rid of clothing because when we're together, in general, we heat up.
Right.
Practice body scans also. What you're going to be doing is you're connecting sensations with intuitive guidance. So practice body scans. Dream awareness. And this goes back to, and we keep on repeating this one, dreams have such great information. So keeping a dream journal, which yes, I have one. I have a notebook right next to my bed that I literally, anything that I wake up with, I write it down. Dreams often carry intuitive insights and solutions. So ask a question before you go to bed, and notice if you get the answer upon waking. That's kind of a fun one.
Yeah.
Practice decision making. So make small daily choices guided by gut feelings to build trust in your intuitive hits. So you're going to compare your intuition versus logic afterwards. And I think I've talked about this one before. Well, I'll use especially when I first started using the information of like, what should I wear today? When I'm talking, I don't know if you do that, Ro, at all.
Well, let me ask you this, and I could tell you if I do that or not. How are you getting that information? Is it through clairaudience or claircognizance?
I would say when I'm making the small daily decisions, I actually will use clairsentient to deliver the message. I listen to my body of like, if it's, and you and I, as we were talking about this, when we were in our classes, see if you get a yes. Well, it doesn't always tell you yes, because that was one of the things that you had the most problem with, because you didn't hear, but you could feel it. So I would listen to what a yes feels like in my body and what a no feels like in my body. So I'll pick up a shirt or look at a shirt and I'll feel whether or not that's the right shirt. Does that make sense? Okay. So you're going to answer the question.
No, I do not use that to pick out clothes.
Okay. But you do it to see what door.
Yes, I do. Yeah. To see what door opens on the train. So I definitely do it that way, where I'll get if it's a yes, a tightening in my belly. So I'll walk until I get that tightening. And then I was like, I'm going to stand right here.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
But in the morning, I'm usually running on limited time. So whatever's first on the pile is what gets put on the body.
So I have to get my clothes for the week and I have to do it the night before.
Okay. That makes sense. You have the time to pick out a yes or a no for your clothes.
Yes, I can look at weather, and I do. But so in the salon that I work, we're all older. And you never know what the temperature is going to be like in there ever. Because everybody's got, you've got clients that have wet heads, so they need to be hotter. You got blow dryers that are going, so that raises the temperature. You've got some that have hot flashes and they're dropping the temperature. So I never know what the temperature is going to be in the environment that I'm actually working. So it is come in handy quite a bit. It's actually kind of cool.
I'm usually cold in my office.
Okay. So another thing that you can do is to spend time outside, engage in nature, observing subtle patterns or energies. Nature attunes you to the flow of energy. So they're sharpening your perception. Okay, here's a perfect example. Anybody that says, oh yeah, it's going to rain today. Well, why do you think it's going to rain? Because you feel it.
Mm-hmm.
You're feeling the energy.
Yep.
So that is a perfect example. Does that make sense?
It sure does.
Okay. Another thing you can do is explore synchronicities. So if you've got repeating numbers, symbols, events, they often carry intuitive messages. So reflect on them. See if there's a pattern that relates to your life or a decision that you're trying to make. My sister and my brother-in-law, they always see the same number. Sometimes it's just the pick-me-up that they both need. That love that carries through.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a fun one. Use creative outlets. So painting, writing, dancing, music, use intuition to flow without censorship. I know I do this, and I live alone, so it works out well. If I'm cleaning, I will turn the music up, and I don't care what I look like. I dance in my kitchen by myself, and I'm sure somebody walking by probably thinks I'm having a seizure. I'm not going to lie, but I don't care. Automatic writing is one of the most creative things that you can do, is where you just sit with a piece of paper and just let it flow. Write whatever. And you're going to find a message in there.
I definitely do the music thing.
Do you?
Yeah, definitely around my house, dancing with the, 80s music.
Another thing you can do to strengthen your intuition is you can practice clairtangency. Clairsomatic awareness. Some of the lesser known clairs, those will enhance your intuition because you're receiving and interpreting subtle energy signals. I didn't know it until you were researching this, but it makes sense because for me, it's not one that I work with very often. So I think it might be that maybe I'm afraid of what I'm going to get.
Which one?
Clairtangency mostly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't usually practice with that one either. Only because I don't have anything old here.
I still want proof. And with clairtangency, a lot of times, unless you know somebody that had this item forever, you don't get any clarification of whether or not you're right. So maybe that might be a reason why I kind of avoid that one.
I was thinking on the same lines as that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you know you're right? Unless you know where it came from, who it was,
So that actually bleeds into our next one. Trust and act on it. So intuition grows stronger the more you acknowledge it and take action. So even with a small, low-risk situation, to build confidence in your guidance, that's what it is. So it goes back to you got to practice, 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 and celebrate even the smallest of wins.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And obviously we have the chakras, you know, clearing and cleansing chakra work. I think it's pretty vital. Clearing blockages from your third eye, your crown, your heart, or your throat chakras. You can use meditations, crystals, visualizations to keep your intuitive channels open.
We also put out Sacred Tree meditation up on our Come Get Woo Woo on YouTube.
Yes, she has made these two, ones for practicing and ones for activating and clearing your chakras, I believe, right?
Yeah, the one for your chakra work is clearing, unblocking all of your chakras. So your major and your minor ones. And the other is going through all the clairs. This way you could visualize, like, let's say you have a teacup. What does that teacup look like? What do you hear? What do you taste? What do you smell from that cup of tea? So it's just like walking you through some exercises to strengthen your clairs.
Very cool. Thank you for doing that, by the way.
Oh, anytime. I had fun.
I think we have fun doing the Sacred Tree meditations.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe in December or maybe at the first of the year. We haven't decided yet that we'll start releasing the ones for our book, Answers from Your Soul.
I can't wait to start those too.
So just remember, the intuition is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Daily attention, journaling, and mindful reflection create a feedback loop that sharpens your clarity and trust. Do you have any fun games that maybe our listeners can try out to strengthen their intuition?
Oh, yeah, of course I do. So this one is very similar to one of the ones that we had given for Claire Gustance. You blindfold yourself and try tasting foods, herbs, or teas. Notice what sensations, images, or knowing arises before identifying the items. This works beautifully alongside Claire Gustance.
If you don't want to use tea and you want to use wine instead, go right ahead.
Yeah, there you go. Love it. So then we have mystery walks. Go for a walk and follow your gut pulls instead of a set route. Trust where your body leads you. Pay attention to the insights or observations along the way. So I like that one.
I really like that one too. I might have to try that one. I've got enough trails around here. I might be able to do that.
Ooh, that sounds like fun. Then we have intuitive doodle or art. So draw, paint, or doodle without thinking. Look at the shapes, colors, or patterns afterwards. What messages or insights emerge? Do you usually doodle, have a specific doodle?
I'm always doodling. And, you know, I always thought because my mom does it. And so, you know, for some reason, my go-to doodle is always eyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I always am drawing eyes or flowers. But I just started doodling the other day and I had a cluster of grapes. So, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that's cool. You usually see flowers. Sometimes I'll do eyes too, yeah. But usually it's flowers.
You know, when I was first starting this, I think it was Echo that it was that she actually wanted you to visualize an eye opening. And that is the eye that I would see is the eye that I'm always drawing on my, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Wow. And then we have the synchronicity scavenger hunt. Pick a word, a number, a symbol, and see how it often appears during the day. Notice feelings, gut hits, or nudges when it shows up. I know you have an example of this, Becky.
I do. Long drawn out story that I won't get into because not my story. But I was to deliver a certain message. I delivered the message, and it happened to be as I was driving home, I get a flat tire. But then the next morning, I was like doing the whole second guessing myself. And I'm like, okay, did I get the flat tire because I didn't finish the job? Or did I get the flat tire because I had some other issues with my tire? So it was letting me know about it. So I was like, oh, crap. So I said, okay. And this is going with the whole journaling. You know, I journaled and I said, if I did what I was supposed to do, and this message was for the tires and not because I needed to do something else, I would like to see any of these numbers. And it was 7, 1, and 4. And I said, now, if I didn't finish the job that I was supposed to do, then please give me the number 6. Like everywhere you see, everywhere you look, there's a 6 in everything, right? And so I leave and I'm going to work and I'm in the turn lane and there's a truck in front of me. And I'm not kidding you, every single number. So we had a 7, I had a 4, and I had a 1 all in this license plate. So I'm like, message received. Thank you very much. So that was my first acknowledged scavenger hunt that I actually looked for.
Wow. I've done it where I'll say, show me a pink car. And, driving down the road and there a pink car shows up. I'm like, oh, look at that.
Very cool. Very cool.
Then we have automatic storytelling. Ask a question or intention, then tell a story out loud or record it. Don't edit. The spontaneous narrative often carries intuitive guidance. I like that.
I really like that.
Then we have animal and plant messages. Sit quietly with a pet, bird, or plant and ask a question. Observe the first impressions, feelings, or thoughts that arise. Nature often sparks intuitive clarity.
Very cool.
Then we have the body compass check-in. Ask yes or no questions while noticing subtle changes in your body. Do you feel expanded or contracted? And like some of the questions you could ask, my name is Sharon, when your name is not Sharon, and see what the no stands for in your body. Or you could say your age and see what the yes is in your body. And then some people also use their body as a pendulum. So if they're swaying one way, it's a yes. If they're swaying another way, it's a no.
I think that one's really cool because you're not always in situations where you have your pendulum.
Yeah.
And so, like we were just, I think Nancy just did it the other day. She happened to not have her pendulum. So she used her body to see if what she was getting was right. It was really cool.
Then we have energy pulls. Notice what draws you in without logic. What are you magnetized to, even if it makes no sense? Then delayed validation. Write your intuitive hit before you take action. See what unfolds after. This builds trust.
I think that can go along with that simple daily activity, picking your clothes or, left lane, right lane, parking spots, that sort of thing.
Then we have yes, no body scan. When faced with a choice, pause, ask, does this feel like a yes or a no? Notice if your body feels expansive, yes, or tight and heavy, that could be a no. That helps you recognize how intuition speaks through your body. So then we have the sign game. Ask the universe if I'm on the right path. Show me a feather, a number, or a song today. Stay open and notice if it appears. So this is strengthening your trust and spirit. Intuition responds when invited. And the last one I have is silent question practice. While waiting in line, ask silently, what's the next person ordering? Notice your first impression. Don't overthink. Oh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, fun exercises work best when your mind is light and playful. Intuition thrives in curiosity and creativity, not pressure or expectation. So, I know that there's people out in the world today that just live intuitively. How do they do that, do you think, Becky?
People who live intuitively are basically running on psychic autopilot, except for it's not woo woo to them. It's wiring. They've tuned into the energetic current of the day, not just a to do list. And the difference is subtle but important. That kind of intuition is ongoing guidance, not the occasional flash. It's the body's and energy fields, a way of micro navigating. Someone who asks, should I go to the store now or wait, isn't being indecisive. They're sensing timing. Here's what's happening. So they're picking up on energetic conditions. So traffic, crowds, weather, or other people's moods before any of that is visible. When they feel resistance, like a no or a not yet, or an ease, yep, now is the time, that's when their intuitive compass pointing to the most aligned window. It's general, not sensory.
So, do you do that?
I think there's certain things that I do, especially when I'm doing hair. I've done it for over 30 years, but yet there are certain things tuning into the energy of the person and know that this is kind of how they want it to be. It is kind of autopilot sometimes when I'm doing a certain look. I'm working through the steps, but yet at the same time, I'm letting it flow. Even just seeing how the hair is settling, and that can make a decision for you. That's a very good question, Ro. It's something I'm definitely going to have to try to unpack a little bit. Basically, these people are also refining their clairs. So when hearing weight in their head, which is clairaudient, or seeing an image of an empty parking lot, that's clairvoyance, or feeling the push of tension in their gut, which is clairsentient. That's when it shifts from living intuitively to receiving clair input. I think what I was doing is getting clair input, not necessarily living intuitively. What do you think?
Yeah. I think it's kind of like a fine line a little bit,
Yeah. I think there's a lot of that where there's like a very fine line to a lot of these things of like, is it clairsentient? Is it clairvoyance? I think a lot of times they actually work in conjunction of each other. Here's a simple area of like how to tell which one you're operating in. So if it feels like inner ease or resistance, your sensory layer is attached to intuition. If it arrives through clairsensory or a symbol cue, that's a clair. People who live this way are blending both constantly, but intuition is still the foundation. It's the inner weather report, basically. The clairs are the radar images showing why the storm is moving that way. So yeah, checking the weather to go to the store or not isn't silly at all. It's energetic timing, which is one of the smartest ways to stay in the flow with the world instead of fighting it. I think that's a very profound statement there. I think that is something that's very important to remember. It's going with the flow instead of fighting it.
Oh, absolutely.
Even when it's going to upset people and you just like, nope, it's not going to work. I've heard stories of people that had, this is back in COVID, and somebody was supposed to go on a cruise and they're like, nope, we got to cancel this cruise. And they didn't know why, but they were like, okay. And this is before anybody knew about COVID, right? So they're like, no, don't go on that trip. So they didn't go on the trip. Well, if they would have been on that trip, they would have been stuck on the boat for months.
Wow.
So again, not my story, so I can't tell you exactly what happened, but I thought that's living intuitively. You don't know why you need to do these things, but you do them anyway.
And we do know people that do live just intuitively or
Absolutely.
mostly, where they won't go to the store or the gym or something like that until their body says, yes, it's good and it's time to go.
For me, it's so very hard to live fully intuitively because I still got to go to work. I still got to pay my bills. That
Absolutely.
those are all factors that kind of make it very difficult to live intuitively.
Yeah, I agree.
Because there was days that I'm like, I don't want to be here. I can't be here, but I still got to pay the bills.
Yeah.
And I love my job. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love my job. I am the lucky few that it's not work to go to work. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So, yeah. Yeah.
You want to hear some fun facts about intuition?
What do you got?
So, well, everyone has it. Intuition isn't a rare psychic gift. It's a natural ability we use daily, often without realizing it. It's faster than logic. Intuition can provide answers instantly, bypassing reasoning or step-by-step thinking. It communicates subtly. Intuition often comes as a gut feeling, a flash of insight, a bodily sensation, or a quiet inner voice.
I think that's one of the reasons why it's hard for me to listen to it unless I'm actually seeking it out, because it's so subtle that you don't even know that that's what it is.
They're all pretty subtle, though.
This is true. True.
This might come in a little bit more subtle. It's linked to the brain and body. So studies show that the heart, the gut, and the nervous system play key roles into intuitive processing.
Interesting.
Yeah. Experience strengthens it. The more you notice and act on intuitive hits, the sharper and more reliable it becomes. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It can manifest through dreams. Intuition often speaks in symbolism, imagery, or messages during sleep. It's connected to the other clairs. Claircognizance, clairsentience, and clairvoyance often work alongside intuition to provide guidance. It thrives on calm and focus. Anxiety, overstimulation, or overthinking can cloud intuitive signals. Synchronicities often carry intuition. Repeated numbers, symbol, or coincidence frequently reflect intuitive guidance. Oh, so your 111s, your 222s.
Yep.
It's a combination of subconscious and spiritual information. Intuition draws from your internal wisdom, life experience, and subtle energetic input. It's not always dramatic. Intuition often whispers rather than shouts. Small nudges can be just as meaningful as big revelations. It's amplified by mindfulness and meditation. So regular practice helps you notice the subtle cues, strengthening your intuitive muscles. Like you had said earlier, like some people get intuitive hits while gardening. That's being mindful.
Mm-hmm.
So, Becky, do you want to do some myths about intuition?
So one of the most common myths, and we've kind of already hit on this some before, is it's only for psychics or special people. Intuition's actually a natural ability that everyone has, not a supernatural trait reserved for the select few. Also, it's always right. Intuition provides guidance, but it can be influenced by fear, bias, or emotional states. It's best used alongside discernment. And I think this can go of like if you're trying to predict something.
Yeah, it's that one's like if your ego gets in the way. Like you
I
were saying
agree.
earlier. Yeah.
It's purely magical. Well, it can feel magical. Intuition often draws on subtle cues, experiences, and subconscious knowledge. So sometimes it's like my salon situation. I know if the weather is going to be a nice day, then it's probably going to be colder in the salon. because the air will be turned on even though it's winter, that type of thing. So it's, part of that is logic and experience. You either have it or you don't. Intuition can be developed and strengthened like a skill. It's not fixed at birth. So it's not like left-handed, right-handed. Usually fairly quickly if you're left-handed or right-handed. That's not a fixed thing. It can be developed. Just like you can develop your right-handed writing or left-handed writing, you can develop this skill.
You could also develop your clair skills as well.
Absolutely. It always arrives as a loud, dramatic feeling. And we've already talked about that. Most intuitive hits are going to be subtle, quiet, and easily overlooked.
Don't you wish it would? Becky, don't do that.
But, we're put on this earth to experience life. And you're not going to experience life if you know all the answers. Plain and simple.
That's true. I still wish it would be loud and dramatic or something.
Absolutely. Don't buy that because it's going to be broken. But again, we're here to experience life on earth, which is full of ups and downs. And intuition is going to guide you, but ultimately you get to make that choice. Just like if you follow your intuition, then you usually are led down the right way. But if you catch yourself going, I knew that I should have done that, then generally you're going against your intuition.
Mm-hmm. And I think that sometimes too, like you was talking about, I think sometimes you need to experience certain things. So your intuition might not even give you a hit either way. It's something that you just need to experience.
And that right there, what you just said, like sometimes you need to experience it. And that's why you're led that way. So it's always for your highest and greatest good. But sometimes your highest and greatest good is to experience.
Yeah. I was about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So logic and intuition are enemies. In reality, intuition and reason complement each other. Intuition can guide choices before logic catches up. So go down to that scenario where you're driving down the lane and all of a sudden you feel this, I got to get into the other lane. Well, maybe it's because there's a car accident coming up or somebody's going to pull into your lane that shouldn't, you don't know the reason, but you just go with it. So they go hand in hand sometimes. Yeah. It's always emotional. In fact, it's the opposite. Intuition isn't just feeling. It can appear as subtle knowing, visual insight, or symbolic understanding. And it's not going to be, if you're feeling chaotic about a decision, it's generally not led by your intuition. It's actually led but more of your ego and anxiousness. Your intuition is going to be that quiet, subtle talking. It works only for important life decisions. We've already talked about this. Intuition shows up for the smallest everyday moments, and you strengthen it. So then when you use it in your big moments, you trust it. So it's a trained and strengthened energy that you can use.
Oh, I wrote an intuition meditation for this episode. I just haven't done it yet.
Well, I did one for the Sacred Tree, actually.
Oh, so we could put that up there when we put this out.
Yeah. Yep. I did a Sacred Tree intuition.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah, we can play with that a little bit.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, good.
So also, you can force it. Intuition emerges naturally. Overthinking and pressuring yourself often blocks it. So, and this is one of those things that we keep on repeating over and over again. And I think I'll go to my grave saying it. Go with the flow. Jeez, just go with the flow. It's the same for everyone. Just like your clairs, everything in each person receives intuitive guidance differently. Some via flashes of insight, images, sounds, or feelings. We actually talked about that where Ro and I were in the same class and you couldn't hear it, but you could feel it.
Right. And that's what used to confuse me when she was like, okay, did you get a yes or a no? Or I heard a yes and I heard a no. And I'm like, well, I don't hear yeses and nos,
So you're individual, treat yourself like it.
Yes.
Plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
A couple more. It's always about the future. Intuition can provide insight about the present, the past, or patterns that you might consciously not notice. It can be used in any and every situation as long as you're listening.
I never thought about it for the past.
I hadn't either. Do you think that that's when you hold guilt or you hold resentment or you hold all those feelings, and then finally when you release them, that's your intuition giving you the go-ahead to do it?
Definitely. I think that could be one of them, yeah.
I'm just thinking about that.
Or, it says it comes in aha moments. You have, let's say, a past fight with someone, and then you finally get an understanding, maybe from their point of view. Like, oh, I get it now.
No, I have actually done some of that where I've revisited some of past stuff between my exes or, whatever. And I absolutely find myself in that aha moment of like, oh my gosh, I was trying to control the narrative. I was trying to mold this to work out a certain way by doing, and I'm a Cancer. So when we talk about cancers, one of the things that we talk about is, you have a healed cancer and then you have an unhealed. And one of the unhealed is a manipulated cancer, which there are traits that I can see and look back at if like, okay, so I put myself in a certain position or set a certain way to get the result that I needed, which is a manipulative tactic. Even though sometimes it was for the greater good. Does that make sense? But still it was manipulative.
Wow.
So I can look at those back now and it's aha moments that I've gotten of that. And now I can start to heal from it, releasing the guilt from it or just taking accountability for my role.
Yeah.
But I totally went a little deep. Apparently, I have no filter when it comes to the show.
I bring it out in you, I think.
You do. Yeah, Libra trying to give me some balance, huh?
No, but it's so very interesting how that occurs,
Mm-hmm. So lastly, you can always explain it, which, as we talked about it over and over and over again, intuitive hits often defy logic and or explanation. And part of their power is that they bypass ordinary reasoning. And when you start listening to it and trust it, then you get more information. Just like everything, the more you trust the flow of things, yeah, you might bump into the wall every now and again, but you still keep going. But really, I'm not getting slammed into the wall anymore. And it's because I've given up, not that I've given up control, but I've let my higher self, my guides, my God, everybody, universe, whatever you want to call it, whoever you look to as a higher purpose or a higher self, that has made life a lot easier for me.
And you paid attention.
Yes, I pay attention now. Pay attention to everything now. Okay, maybe I'm still ignoring certain things, but for the most part, I pay attention to a lot of things.
Yeah.
And what it's done is it's led me to a much happier life. I'm not fighting myself anymore.
I'm also trying to pay attention too.
That's okay. I'm going to keep on reminding you to pay attention.
You're going to remind everybody to pay attention.
Yes.
As we wrap up today's episode on intuition, remember that your inner guidance is a powerful compass that is always available to you, whether it shows up as a sudden nudge, a quiet whisper, or a deep sense of knowing without proof. Trust that your intuition is here to support you. The more you listen and respond, the stronger and clearer your guidance becomes. I love this full circle moment on
Me
intuition.
too.
Yeah. So take a moment today to notice when your instincts quietly point you in a direction or when you feel pulled toward or away from something. Every time you honor that feeling, you're strengthening your connection. So Becky, do we have anything else to share?
Yes. Actually, our next episode, in honor of the upcoming new year, we're going to be talking about manifestation.
Ooh.
How to align your energy and intention so the universe can actually meet you halfway. We'll show you the critical difference between simple visualizing and taking aligned action, and how to stop chasing a goal and start magnetizing them. We can't wait to share it with you. We also have our 3 words for the week from the Woo Woo Seekers Journal, A Journey for Your Signs and Symbols, Book 1. We have determination, dancer, and candle. So see what rises, see what resonates, and go to @Woo Woo Seekers on YouTube to listen to the meditation for these words. You can find all the words and the link to our newsletter at comegetwoowoo.com. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for getting woo-woo with us today. If something sparked a memory, a message, or just made you smile, share it with a fellow seeker, because the journey is always better when you can grow together. Be sure to find us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube @Woo Woo Seekers, so you can like, follow, and subscribe.
You can also follow us by visiting our website, comegetwoowoo.com. We are so much more than just another podcast. We're building a community of seekers just like us. We love hearing from you. If you've got signs, symbols, or stories that you want to share, email us at woowooseekers@gmail.com. Or any questions about today's episode, you can email us at comegetwoowoo@gmail.com.
Until next time, stay curious, stay open, and as always, come get woo-woo with us.